Welcome back, everybody. We're here now live in MiTH Trust vs Arrow Gaming. The picks, the draft is completed, and hopefully Baseskip is back with me. Are you ready to go, Cameron?
I am more than ready to go. Let's get this underway.
Cool. We'll jump ourselves in-game. The picks are done. The drafts are complete. We talked about it already. I've kind of already forgotten. Well, we talked about other stuff most. I've actually forgotten like half the draft, but we'll have a little recap of what's going on. MiTH Trust seems to be running a safe lane farming Ember Spirit with a Tinker, as well as Darkseer as their 3 core heroes. Depending what, yeah, Naga, Shadow Shaman, 2 supports. Arrow Gaming, on the other hand, they pick up a heavy split pushing, single target, a lot of right-click damage with Lycan, Nature's Prof, and Clinks with a support Venomancer Chen. What do you think about the two drafts here?
Personally, I think I like Arrow's lineup a little bit better. I feel like it's just a bit more flexible.
Even with no stuns?
Yeah, that's the problem. They have literally no stuns. So that could prove to be a little bit of a problem. But I don't know. I don't feel like MiTH have a lot of killing power necessarily early on. The only one of their cores that really has all that much potential to set up any kind of gank, maybe along with the supports, is the Ember Spirit.
Yeah.
And knowing Lakelz as a player, it doesn't really seem like he's going to be playing much of a ganking style Ember.
I kind of have to agree there. Like, we're going to see a lot of farming, Battle Furies maybe. He loves his Lincoln Sphere. The Ember Spirit's a good hero to get Lincolns on, and if you're up against a Clinks going Orchid, you probably do want a Lincoln Sphere, so whenever you see that, Lakel's Lincolns come out.
Yeah, and Clinks is really good against Ember. Like, he builds an Orchid, silencers are fantastic, he has mass physical damage, can burst him down. So definitely a nice counter pick here for Arrow, and not something that's that unusual for the SEA scene either, though mid is not his usual territory.
Yep. Well, we'll introduce our two teams to start off. This is game 1 of a best of 3. We don't have our little dots at the top, but it is a best of 3. We're going to see the offlane Nature's Prophet being played by Xiang Stars. In the mid lane, it's going to be DDZ playing the solo mid Clinks. In the support role, it's going to be Mazoon playing the Venomancer. We've got Chen being played by Johnny. And then finally, in the safe lane farming role, it's going to be the carry player for Arrow Gaming. It's Lance playing the Lycan.
Nice. And over on MiTH Trust, we have KYT handling the offlane Darkseer. Abba's going to be heading towards mid on the Tinker. TNK on the Naga Siren, looking to stack up some camps at the moment. They've got the stand-in Xenon on the Shadow Shaman, and to round things off, their famous carry player, or infamous carry player, however you take it, we've got Lakelz on the Ember Spirit.
I mean, you talk about Lakelz loving to farm and then playing around him. Well, stacking neutrals already, that to me is... Well, it could be for the Tinker as well, but something tells me this may just be for Lakelz with his Sleight of Fist later on.
Yeah, if you have Sick Micro as the Naga as well, it's not even Sick Micro, that's the wrong way to phrase it. But if you play well and you know the timings, you can actually stack the entire jungle at once, or 4 camps at once. So maybe we'll see that from TNK here. Depends on how practiced he is at it.
Well, for now, just going for a bit of a standard pull here. Prophet will send some Treants in to scout things out. Won't be able to pull this creep wave away, at least not for the time being. And TNK just going to right-click him down a bit, but in the off-lane, Darkseer does need to be a bit careful. He has got the Surge in. Well, even with that Dark Troll trap, even if they get an ensnare, there is no way they get that kill. They've just got no actual damage output for it. 10 level 2, but not going to happen.
Yeah, unless the Darkseer was super far up in the lane and somehow the ensnare was right as he started the Surge. That wasn't going to happen.
Tinker went Soul Ring instead of Bottle. That's an interesting little deviation from the normal Tinker build.
Yeah, that is actually a little bit unusual now that you mention it. I think he'll end up in the, still probably end up going for the bottle and still be in about the same place, but
yeah.
I don't know if this lends itself better to anything, really.
Yeah.
Though I don't know if it's strictly worse, really, either, so.
It just seems like a different way to get to the same place.
If the Darkseer wants to buy a bottle, then this is a nice way to adjust for it, because they would both need to be bottle crowing, and you just can't get away with that.
Top lane, they've gone in for a gank here. They're going to get the Searing Chains to start things off, and this will be First Blood, picked up by Lakelz of all players.
First blood.
The Searing Chains combined with a Sleight of Fist, and then the Naga Siren came in from behind. That was a smoke as well from the Naga Siren, so they get First Blood just 2.5 minutes into the game.
Yeah, and this Prophet has had not that impressive a time so far. I mean, I think if he was microing a little bit better and just was more aware of the timings, then he should have still been able to keep that pole camp blocked up to about this spawn. And that's where he runs out of mana, and that's where he won't be able to block it out. But I think it did spawn at 1 minute. So we lost a little bit of control of that, and that meant that... And that's something that's really important as an offlane Nature's Prophet player. You have to keep the pull block so that the wave pushes in towards you. Otherwise, you're just never really going to get anything. And he chooses to come back to top lane, actually has a second point in the TP instead of a second point in Nature's Call, which strikes me as extremely odd.
Yeah, very odd. It does get, I mean, the cooldown does improve, but you want the extra treat for sure. For the pulls, just for the jungling, for just harassing, whatever it may be, but... We'll see. Maybe it was just a misclick or something, but this top lane's going to be really tough for him. Lakel's already has phase boots. He's going to find himself really struggling to stay in this lane. I think this is a point where you just say, well, I can't get anything out of this lane. I got to go jungle.
Yeah, he might stick around for maybe one more bit of experience under his tower, but then I think he does need to maybe look towards the jungle.
Meanwhile, mid lane, Clinks is going for a bottle build of his own. He's 23 CS to the Tinker's 20. Tinker not going back for the bottle, just picks up some brown boots now to go with his Soul Ring. So looks like a pretty even farm matchup in the mid lane. Clinks slightly ahead, but I'm not too surprised by that. Clinks just much better last hitting than a Tinker. Tinker can drop down the march, can harass the Clink with a laser, but that's about it.
Yeah, they're both going to secure their CS.
Yeah. There's a gank possibly headed towards this mid lane. Smoked up supports, TNK and Xenon. They've got a sentry between them, so they can see the Clinks here. Clinks actually pops an Invis rune of all things, and Chen sitting nearby, level 4, about to hit level 5, and I'll have to see if he can rotate in fast enough. He's actually looks to be heading away from this camp, so we may see a possible kill on this Clinks if he's not careful. No Radiant Vision at all on the top river, but they're going to head back top, it seems.
Yeah, the Treants have just scattered out, and
yeah.
I think there was already probably a message from the Prophet saying, look, I don't know where the supports are, the pull isn't being run, just watch out. DDZ responds appropriately, sits over on the right-hand side of the mid-ramp, puts himself out of harm's way, and that just ends up being a little bit of wasted time for the MiTH Trust supports.
Yeah. Well, that's Arrow Gaming. I mean, they've given up the first blood, but they've got a Lycan who's just farming all as well as you could hope for in the bottom lane, going towards that Vlad's. While Prophet's not doing well now, he can always catch up pretty easily. He's actually going to kill a bottom lane. Whoops, missed that one. That was the Chen coming in. Prophet even TPing in as well. As the nice little creep combo, the ensnare into a Centaur stun. It looks like it was enough to lock down the Darks here.
Bottom tower is under
as
attack.
it looks like Shadow Shaman. We're going to take over this mid lane. Tinker just got a bit low, decided to rotate back towards the jungle. He cleared off those stacks from earlier on. So he farms the stacks, leaves the mid lane for the Shadow Shaman.
Dire's structures are fortified.
Yeah, and the Soul Ring build does now make a little bit more sense. He's just straight, he's cutting all of the fat out of his build to get those BOTs as fast as possible. And the stacks were set up so we can pick up a really early point.
Dire's bottom
But
tower
very
Arrow?
tower.
Yeah, and Vlad's already up on the Lycan. This is already pretty
Radiant's
scary.
top tower is under attack.
Summon some more wolves. They don't want just the tier 1, they want the tier 2 as well. Tinker going to come in to defend this one, and this is where you've got to get those boots to travel up as fast as possible. He's already got the rearm, so he can actually get multiple layers of march, and this will actually completely stop the push for the time being. Problem is, he's got to either walk back to base to heal up a bit, get some more mana, get some more HP, or he's going to maybe even have to swing towards mid lane. He can't just stay there without the boots of travel. He's got to walk around, which is a pretty slow endeavor for a Tinker.
And this is where Arrow's timing is just, being a few
Radiant's
minutes
top tower
faster
is
than your
under
opponents
attack.
is
Yeah.
extremely relevant in this early portion of the game. And we might even see Johnny just straight rush a mech, no boots, start pushing, force down these tier 1s. And if they have that, I think they can quite easily take this tier 1 and then just swing into Roshan. MiTH Trust are not in any kind of state to defend that at the moment.
Tinker will clear up another double neutral stack here, but this is not going to quite be as boots of travel, I don't think. I think he'll be maybe about 200-300 short after this. Meanwhile, top lane Ember Spirit, well, he's going for a max Flame Guard build, so not going for the Sleight of Fist Searing Chains, and you probably want to max that Sleight of Fist as soon as possible against the push, but Flame Guard for the time being. There's really very little magic damage as well, and that's where this Flame Guard build is a little bit surprising.
Yeah, I think he could have, if you wanted a little bit more kill potential on the Prophet, I think points in Searing Chains are about equivalent to points in Flame Guard right now. And like you said, there's just not a whole lot to block. But he is going to go in here on Zhang. And it looks like it should be a kill. All he needs is one more right click. There we go.
Prophet even using a TP. So that was a TP scroll, I believe. So gold down the drain for the Nature's Prophet. Nice little kill from Lakels. He's got phase and drums. 6 ECS. He's doing better than pretty much any of these core heroes on the map. But I mean, you look at the Radiant cores. They're getting towers. They're getting Midases in the terms of the clinks. So they're doing fine, even if they're not doing as well as this Ember Spirit.
Double damage empowers me.
Clink's actually doing a lot of damage mid on the Shadow Shaman. Going to switch targets onto TNK. He gets stunned from behind. Nice bit of play there. Clink's gets a kill on the Naga Siren. Now the Sprout onto Xenon, the Shadow Shaman. He's going to go down as well. 2 for nothing in the mid lane. I'll maybe try and chip away at this tier 1 tower as well. Chen getting very low. Had to use that Hand of God to keep himself alive. And with the creeps with the treants as well, this looks like a tier 1 tower. MiTH are rotating in Lakels here. Fire him to start things off. He wants the Chen. He goes in Sleight of Fist with a double damage rune of all things. Gets himself a nice little kill there, but the tier 1 tower is still going to go down, it looks like. Nature's Prophet getting the last hit. Ember Spirit on the run. Second tower of the game going the way of the Malaysian squad, Arrow Gaming.
Yeah, things are looking good, and this early gold lead is getting pretty scary. Mech's completed on the Chen. He can buy some boots as well. We do finally have the BOTs on the Tinker in just a second, so they can start to slow down the pace of the game a little bit. Darkseer is unfortunately still only level 6 for the time being, so he's still going to take a little bit of time to fully come online, but they can at least start doing something now when these pushes come knocking at their door.
And they've got Shadow Shaman level 6 now, so they can go for trade if they want to, but... You talk about Darkseer still being level 6, well, he's going to stay level 6 a while if Clinks keeps hunting him down like that.
Yeah, and the Clinks even went for a Midas here, so... DDZ even getting a little bit of assurance this game, and Zhang, despite that death on top, actually has his Midas pretty much complete as well. No phase boots, so it is a little bit more rushed than we've come to expect from the Prophet these days, but yeah. Those two tier 1 towers making everybody look rich right now.
Yeah, and at this end of the day, though, it is just the tier 1 towers, and Tinker's going to say, look, you've got a couple tier 1s, you're not going to start getting out tier 2s as well. He'll make sure he's in position to defend these with the march when needed. At the same time, defending towers as a Tinker against a Clinks, if Clinks manages to find you and you're away from a tower, trying to lay down some march, Clinks can do a lot of burst damage, especially once he completes this Orchid. He's picked up the first Oblivion stuff already now.
Yeah, and I think it's also a really big deal that MiTH are losing all of this map control early on, because it restricts the potential space that they have to farm. And they have heroes that can quite easily utilize all the farm on the map. Jumping on top of Lance top, and I think they might have the lockdown to deal with him here.
The Hex not going to do too much, but they've got an Ether Shock. They're going to throw the Hex out anyway. Need another Sleight of Fist. They're firing it there as well as the right click, and Lycan goes down. Nicely played there. Chen did not have the Hand of God, or else he would have probably actually survived that one. Meanwhile, Lakel's taking a lot of damage here, but the Chen pops the mech, forced out, and more rockets going to go flying here. Chen just barely keeping himself alive. Using that mech. Now Hand of God is up as well, so it's actually going to be Lakel's on the run. Some Wolves almost finishing him off under the tower. He can drop a Fire Remnant, TP home, and just be back on full HP, though. This is the beauty of the Ember Spirit, although as many people would call the overpoweredness of the Ember Spirit.
Yeah, the mobility and uptime are both really, really disgusting, I think, for a hero that does so much with farm as well. But anyway, balanced discussions are for another time.
Lance is on a sneaky little mission into the Roshan pit, it looks like, and Clinks can actually join him in here, although he hasn't used the Skeleton Walk, so he probably doesn't want to go rushing in. There aren't any rewards. Meanwhile, top lane, it looks like a bit of an engagement coming out. Lakels was looking for the chain, takes a bit of damage from the missiles here. Lakel's still pretty healthy, and Alba laying down the marching machines as well as multiple heat-seeking missiles. He'll force these heroes back, but the problem is, meanwhile, Lance is taking road.
Ace is here.
Looks like he should get it pretty much no problem. KYT
surging. Is he going to check this?
I think he's just okay. He's in there.
Some good map sense coming out from the Darkseer player. He's going to prevent Lance from getting this. TP's coming in as well. Wrath of Nature is being thrown. Darkseer has to be a bit careful. He's still very squishy, as we've seen a couple of times. But Roshan's so low right now.
Man, DD Clinks.
You can't really fight into the marching machines is the main problem here. We're going to see Ember Spirit look to be the first one to engage. He needs to the steering chains. He does, and with the heat-seeking missiles, they get the kill there under the Lycan, and they lose the Tinker in the meantime. I think that was the double damage Clinks finishing him off, but now Serpent Ward's in the pit. They want the Roshan. Lycan Wolves will look to maybe deny it. Also, we see Clinks from the high ground. He's gonna almost get the Ember Spirit. He goes down to Roshan of all heroes. Aegis goes to the Darks here.
Dire's
That
top tower
the
is
Lycan
under
Wolves
attack.
giving vision for the Clinks on the high ground. That was some nice play coming in from Arrow Gaming.
The Darkseer just got solo experience on Roshan
Wow.
as well.
That's
So if we were
actually
worried
huge.
about his level, yeah, that's massive. He's level 10 now.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think that's okay for MiTH. Sure, your Ember Spirit
Dire's top
dying,
tower
never
is under
ideal
attack.
case scenario, but they kill the Lycan again. They get Roshan for themselves. I mean, Aegis on Darkseer not the best, but end of the day, you make sure you get the Aegis and you get the Roshan gold. Roshan gold this early on in the game is a pretty big chunk of change.
I think that was actually great for MiTH here.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if necessarily like this is a case of if they hold on, they win the game. I don't really think that that's the kind of assessment you can make because Arrow Gaming do have the full split pushing tricore with some reasonable team fight thrown in, but for the time being, they do definitely need to be holding out. So
You gotta
at least as far as
hold on
that's
to be
concerned.
in this game with like a 50-50 chance, it feels
Yeah,
like.
exactly.
They have the Arrow Gaming lineup, if it gets some momentum, it will just take every tower in the game, Roshan, and have like a 10k gold lead at 20 minutes in the game, if you're not careful. But that hasn't happened. It seems MiTH have avoided that. It is a 5k gold lead, but I mean that 5k gold lead could quickly become a 10k gold lead if Arrow Gaming get 2-3 more towers. So I think MiTH still have to be very careful with where they stand right now.
I feel like MiTH should have one more hero off in some other lane. Like the Tinker is obviously going to be extremely mobile. Oh, and he gets jumped by DDZ.
Oh man.
Bye bye.
This Tinker's not having a very good time. Meanwhile, top lane looks like probably going to summon some treants here. They want to kind of go in, and Darkseer's trapped in his problem. Nice vacuum wall! Ton of damage being output, but the mech hand have got immediately coming out. That's going to heal everyone up on the Arrow Gaming side. Serpentward's now getting dropped as well. Looks like Lance is trapped in the middle of things here. The big bad wolf is just surrounded by creeps, wards, and absolutely anything you can imagine to lock him in place. Now Ember Spirit going to go chasing. Looking for the Prophet. He seems to be out of mana. Changes his chasing plan, but now the Venomancer. Oh, Searing Chains onto the Veno. He's going to try TP the ensnares. They're not even going to be needed.
Dire's
Couple
bottom
kills
tower
going away with
is under
MiTH, and
attack.
well, he wants some more. He's got a Surge, Prophet, TP out. Doesn't get the vision he needs for it though. And Lakel's not going to get any follow-up kills on that one, but that was still an okay fight for MiTH. The problem is they keep losing this Tinker to the Clinks. That's the second time in a row. This Clinks is really having a big game so far.
Yeah, the Clinks is doing fantastically, and it's got his Orchid up.
Sentry Ward vision for him though. Oh no, Lakel's. He's just going to stand here. The vacuum not going to make any difference. He goes down in the Darkseer. Now his Surge on cooldown has to be pretty careful. Lycan Wolves once again scouting things out as Arba gets pushed back to his tower and Lakel's goes down. This is where I feel MiTH are really, like, we talked about whether or not they're holding on or not. I feel like they're just holding on, but not really holding on strong enough. Like, they need to be getting more out of these trades.
Yeah, I mean they're taking a couple of kills here and there in the fights, but I feel like they're just one pick off away from things, you know, completely falling apart. And obviously the Tinker got picked off at the start of that one, so things worked out okay, but you know, they got a little bit of a reprieve when they managed to pick up that Roshan and get the gold and get the experience in the Darkseer.
This Clinks is 9k net worth to the Ember Spirit's 6k and the Tinker's 5.5k. It's huge.
He has 6 kills, and I think a lot of them are just straight up solo kills as
Tinker
well.
a couple times, Ember Spirit there, the Darkseer. So, I'm gonna see, looks like a send back on the Lycan. The Clink's once again in position to try and scout. He's just out of this Sentry Ward range. He even, like, retreats, avoiding the Sentry Ward somehow. I think MiTH just have to straight up pick up a gem right now, because this Clinks is just running around in circles on them.
Yeah, and normally you would say, oh, okay, MiTH need to be defending with 3, the Tinker is splitting and farming, and somebody else is also off splitting the map, and they'll be ready to TP in along with the Tinker if a dive happens, but
Yeah.
as we've seen, there's nowhere that's really safe from this Clinks, and the only reason that Lakel's is feeling more confident at the moment is because the Shadow Shaman is backing him up mid, but that means that they have successive TPs that need to go top, and that could be a problem.
They're kind of hoping for Clinks to maybe run into this Sentry Ward and they can get a kill, but that's just so unlikely because there's a tower here which will be TPs through. They are going to drop the Serpentwards here, and immediate silence going on the Shadow Shaman. Where are those Searing Chains? It looks like they actually either missed or was using. Clinks gets a kill there on the Shadow Shaman. He's going to clean up these Serpentwards as well. That's a ton of gold, a ton more experience as well. Clinks hits level 15. at 10k net worth at 17 minutes in the game. Looks like Arrow Gaming are looking to engage in the top lane as well. They're going to go on this tier 1 tower, and I don't think there's much that Mistrust can do to defend this one. The Tinker can lay down March with the Machine and missiles, but he's already low on HP, low on mana, forced to TP home, and they're going to drop a Hand of God. Clinks, meanwhile, in the backlines, he's found the Ember Spirit! One more right click, is he going to get this? He's going to get it, doesn't get disjointed! Oh, Clinks, he's just complete beast mode right now. He's going to get another kill on the Darkseer with the help of the Sprout. Darkseer going to go down. Clinks is godlike. Clinks gets himself his 9th kill of the game. 2.5k gold to go with it. The tier 1 tower takes a fall, and Arrow Gaming, suddenly the snowball is fully in motion.
And I was like, oh yeah, Clink's pretty nice pick to have against these MiTH cores, but he is just destroying them this game.
Yeah. I don't even think he needs to go defensive item at this point. He is just being
structures are
gone
fortified.
completely unchecked. He could just go straight into an MKB, straight into a Daedalus. Maybe even, oh, he's going to go Blink. Oh, I like this pickup. This is actually even, gives him even more killing potential, as well as helps with, a bit with the survivability.
Yeah, and the Tinker's got his Blink now as well, so there's always, it helps him out, giving him a little bit of a chance to maybe catch the Tinker.
That's where it feels MiTH have really struggled. Like, they needed this Blink on Tinker a good 5 minutes ago, and they needed to also have a Ghost Scepter, like, right now, ASAP. I think Ghost Scepter is the only way you can go right now, with this Clink's hunting everyone down so easily. Oh, Clink's is looking for him, doesn't have the vision there, though. Ooh, that could have been close. Clink's was waiting for that Tinker TP, but unfortunately didn't get the vision. He TP'd into the tree. He blinked into the
bottom
tree.
tower is under attack.
So the Tinker's now pretty much, well, he's not fully online, but he's at least fully online as far as defending towers is concerned. But again, with all the tier 1s down, the farming space for MiTH is a little bit restricted, and to that end, they even feel like, okay, we need to go and look for a gank. Just sitting around farming is not going to do that much for us, and we're just going to get picked up by the Clinks. Not a super high value kill.
That is, I mean, it's almost like the gain they get is just negated by how much time and resources they have to put into getting it. So I'm not sure that's really even worth their time that much.
Yeah, it's 2 cores along for the ride for that gank, the Ember and the Darkseer, so that's time that neither of them spent in farming.
This is 5 levels higher than anyone else in the game, including his own teammate.
Solo kills. What can you say?
He's going to wait on the high ground, and, well, do they have detection? Dust immediately popped, and he's on the run now. Pops a Skeleton Walk. He's got decent movement. He's going to blink now as well, and he's going to get away from this one. Did they smoke again for that? I didn't quite see.
Yeah, that was the giveaway.
Okay.
So they smoked and it got dispelled, so they dusted.
Wow. That's depressing for MiTH. Nothing really panning out for them. Lynx will make his way into the trees. He'll find a Centaur to Death Pact and a mini Centaur to MiTH. And he's going to go hunting again.
Yeah, and in the meantime, Lycan shows that he doesn't really care too much about the March, just beats down the tier 2 tower up on top, and, well, MiTH looking a little bit lost right now. They're keeping this 4-man group up going.
Oh, throwing chains on the Chen creeps here, and that's, you know, small consolation prize, really.
Yeah, single target Sleight of Fist chains combo is actually very difficult.
Lynx is still trying to hunt down this Tinker. Tinker managing to elude him at this bottom lane, but he'll TP top now. Prophet, he's got his Necro book up to level 2. Pretty well here. Likel needs some Battle Furies and needs some Battle Furies ASAP, but he's still a good, like, 1.3k gold away from his first one. So I don't even think one Battle Fury is going to make that much of a difference.
And there's just no farming space at all right now. And that's the one downside of the Tinker as well. Like, he's pushing out lanes and he's getting farm for himself, but there's only so much farm available on the map, right? It's a zero-sum game, so if he's taking all of the farm every minute, then Likel just doesn't really have much space to work with. They find out DDZ.
I think he wants to fight this one. The Lycan going to go in as well with the Shapeshift, and TNK forced to just pop the song defensively. And I think this is MiTH just getting the hell out of there. They've used the wall, but they do not want to fight this. Martin Machine gets laid down, and they just can't even really use this Song into Martin Machine's setup at all. They've got pretty good synergy with their ulti. Song of the Siren, Martin Machine's Vacuum. You can then use the Searing Chains to lock people in place, but they're just so far behind. And we don't really talk much about a hero like Chen, but Chen with a Mech and Hand of God pretty much negates all of that AoE damage.
And no Song, no wall. I feel like Arrow can just pick up this tier 2 absolutely anytime that they feel like it before those ultimates come back off cooldown. And That's still another minute away. They're also doing a really good job of just absolutely taking control of the map. Plenty of Radiant wards all over the place, making sure that if anybody is spending time farming, they know about it, and just making life as easy as they can for this Clinks to find more pickoffs and keep everybody on MiTH Trust afraid.
MiTH Trust, they're very afraid right now, I'll tell you that. This Tinker's doing a decent job of keeping these tier 2 towers up and holding on. But that's
Oh, wow. Lakel's not going to finish his Battle Fury. He buys a Ghost Scepter.
Oh. Ooh.
Isn't that just... That's just game over, right? Like, you survived the Clinks, but he's forced you to spend 1,600 gold on just living for a few extra seconds.
I don't know, but it's kind of... I mean, he could have gone for a Lincoln's maybe, that obviously costs a lot more, so it's kind of like a cheaper version of a Lincoln Sphere. But I think he almost needed this, though. Like, I think it was maybe the right idea, because the battlefield was just so far away, and he needs to stay alive. But at this point, it's the Tinker who has to do damage. Like, he's just going to be locked down for the Searing Chain. His Tinker's going to do all the damage in these fights.
Yeah, just what is the plan for winning the game now? Like,
Stall.
yes,
100-minute game, let's go.
Not against all these Necro books. No. I don't think that's...
One Necro 3 and a Necro 2 on Lycan, so...
Radiant's
Chen probably will go
middle tower
Necro book
is
next
under
as
attack.
well. I don't see why not.
Dire's bottom
Maybe a...
tower
Well,
is
they've
under
already
attack.
got
Maybe
flag,
pipe.
so... Yeah, pipe, drums, but...
Ags.
Necrobook's great against Tinker. He'll just blow himself up with the Marching Machine on Necrobooks if he's not careful. You even see some Blade Mails picked up. No real good tanky heroes to get Blade Mail on right now, though, for Arrow Gaming. So Necrobook probably your best bet.
Yeah, and Abba just going for even more defensive spam as well. He's going to be picking up an Aghanim Scepter next.
On the Tinker.
On the Tinker, yeah. So the plan is just hold as long as they possibly can and see if that improves their chances. Oh, and this is a great pickup from the Clinks. Some people go Dagon to punish the Ghost Scepters, but the Fusel Blade is just as good, if not better.
Yeah, because you can Dagon, but if you haven't got the damage to bring them down, maybe a TP out or something. Well, Tinker can TP out with the boots of travel, but... okay. We'll see what Arrow Gaming look to do now. They've got the Diffusal Blade you talked about up, and that's going to make life very hard for MiTH Trust.
So what is this Ghost Scepter now? 1,600 gold worth of getting Diffusal Bladed.
Goes in on TNK. Oh, he uses Diffusal Blade charge. Maybe he didn't want to do so. Gets Serpent Ward traps immediately. Disintegrates the Shadow Shaman. Now he's just going to farm up those Serpent Wards. One-shots them all. Forces out a Song of the Siren here. TNK is not going to TP. Okay, he's going to TP now. Looks like they want to step a wall. No, it's a run. It's a retreat. MiTH Trust are completely on different pages from one another. They drop the wall, but they do not want to fight this one. It looks like Arrow Gaming are going to go straight into the Roshan pit. 25 minutes in the game, second Roshan going to fall, and this time it's not being stolen by MiTH Trust. This time it looks like Arrow Gaming going to be the ones to take it. Another death pack being used, and it looks like
Radiant's top tower is
BDX
under
is trying
attack.
to zone these heroes out as much as possible. Can't really find the Tinker too easily. He's hiding in the trees here. They're trying to contest this Roshan as good as they possibly can. Ember Spirit just throwing out some more Searing Changes, and we'll push Arrow Gaming just that little bit further away. Pops a Ghost Scepter here. There is a Diffusal Blade, but not going to come for the time being. Searing Change with a Sleight of Fist. Decent damage being output here. Arbor forced to blink the trees here. Throws out some missiles as well as Marching Machines, but Roshan goes down. Lycan picks up the Aegis. And with that, I think MiTH Trust, it's not even worth fighting outside of their base. Now that Roshan's already been taken, they may as well back off.
And all of that time, they just spent harassing Arrow. Like, no tier 1 trade, no real farm trade.
Dire's bottom
Nobody,
tower
the
is under
only thing that
attack.
was accomplished on the map there was by Arrow Gaming, and that was taking Roshan. MiTH, like, tickled them a little bit. The tier 1 almost goes down top, but well, even the Prophet going to be able to TP in and get the deny off.
Clinks is going to find the Ember Spirit here. That's got the Ghost Scepter, but no, Clinks decides against engaging. Searing Chains will catch out Lance, but
Dire's bottom tower
Lance says
is under
Necrobook, he's got
attack.
Aegis, he's going to be A-okay. Oh god, that Naga Siren just melted. Clinks blinking onto the high ground. He's going to get this Shadow Shaman as well, perhaps. There's a blink, actually. Not going to go for the kill for the time being. So he's already used up half his Diffusal charges. Those did not last long at all. And this tier 2 tower will not be long for this world.
Dire's
Double
structures
Necrobook
are
3s.
fortified.
Blitz coming out, and the Sleight of Fist, this will slow down the push a little bit, but nowhere near enough. So Marching Machines, that's the important thing for stopping these pushes here. As Clinks blinks forward, finds Xenon, brings him down. Arbor going to be caught out in a Sprout as well, as the trees do break, but already a 2-0 trade. Tier 2 tower going to take a fall as well. DDZ just out of control. He's 12-0 right
Dyer's
now
middle tower
on that
has
clip.
fallen.
Yeah, by far and away the MVP of this game for Arrow. He is actually the only person aside from the Venomancer with kills on his team.
What? What? Look, what are these scores? I didn't even notice that till now. His team have been pushing towers. Meanwhile, DDZ is just like killing heroes.
Yeah, he's leaving all of the towers to the Prophet and the Lycan. That's what they're good at. Clinks is, good at killing
Wow.
towers, but he's also damn good at killing heroes. So.
It's not every day
Well
you
done,
see a
DDZ.
scoreboard like this.
No, that is definitely a rarity.
And it's definitely what the Arrow Gaming Lamp was meant to do. Prophet and Lycan push while Clinks hunts heroes with an Orchid. Like, Clinks was meant to hunt heroes, but he was not meant to hunt them this successfully. I don't think Arrow Gaming, when they were strategizing this, were not expecting Clinks to get this ridiculously fast. But hey, they'll be perfectly happy that he has.
Regeneration.
Yeah, and the completely forced MiTH into 5-manning now as well, which means that they aren't really getting anywhere. Rasta has been able to pick up a Blink Dagger for himself, so
Tinker,
a little bit of an improvement for him.
Tinker dropped the point booster. Oh no, he kept the point booster. He upgraded to a soul booster.
Lance gets caught. Wards get dropped. He's still got the Aegis, however. I think he's actually
Just
going to
fight
be
these
just
wards.
fine.
Summon your Necrobook if you really need to. Clinks already finds a kill on the Shadow Shaman. Now the chase is on. They're going to catch Nature's Prophet looking for a TP out. You see Young Stars, he's going to escape. The TP out is successful. Clinks gets himself a double kill. He's looking for some more now. As the TP from Arbor off in the trees, and he'll be okay for the time being. But 2-0. Lance doesn't even pop his Aegis. Oh man. And that Prophet, I can't believe he TP's out there. They just have no follow-up damage. Nothing to actually get vision inside that Sprout.
Yeah, I thought they were going to be able to finish him off with a Sleight of Fist or just the remainder of the Flame Guard damage, but Lakel's was fearing for his life.
Oh, Arbor kills one Necro 3. The Treant's almost going to get vision of him. They do get vision, but they have no disables. How do you stop a
Dyer's
Tinker
bottom
TP?
tower has fallen.
I mean, we talked about it, like a limitation of their lineup, but it doesn't really matter right now. They can't stop Tinker TP.
Yeah, you either kill him dead or you use the one troll trap that they have here, but that's about it.
Yeah. Well, for now, pushing high ground, not going to be the easiest thing in the world against Tinker, even though they've got the Necro 3s. Double Necro 3 Chen, he has gone for the pipe you talked about, so we'll see mech and pipe up on Johnny's Chen. And
Yeah, I love that the Chen has become like just a walking smorgasbord for the Clinks at this point.
Clinks just
2 hits.
two-shotted, yeah. That's brutal. This poor stand-in, like, he wasn't expecting to play. He just gets asked by MiTH, like, hey, you want to come stand in for a pro game versus this team with Arrow Gaming? And here he is getting two-shotted by a Clinks. This is not what he signed up for.
It's the life of a support. You don't complain. It's fine.
You complain when you're like, man, I could just be playing some like matchmaking right now and just having some more fun than this. I don't know.
True. Yeah, this Clinks is very, very scary. And still, I'm like, MiTH Trust, I think you have to admire the fact that they're holding on, but...
Yeah. Holding on for what, really?
Yeah.
Tinker's going Bloodstone, which will give him a lot more mana pool to work with. He can throw out a lot more spells. Ember Spirit, well, I imagine it's going to be a Battle Fury, probably like multiple Battle Fury kind of build. But even then, it's like, how do you actually beat this Clinks late game? Bottom lane. Thinking about going in here. The Sleight of Fist has been used. Lakel's needs to pop this Ghost Scepter, and it's going to be a Blink Hex from Xenon, so just used defensively to help cover Lakel's tracks as he gets the hell out of there.
And, well, Arrow actually only 30 seconds left on this Aegis. They don't really have much time to make use of it. I think they went in for this push a little bit late. Looks like they might have been waiting around for the Scythe on the Prophet, which he's only just barely gotten enough gold for, but that's not going to line up very well with this Aegis window, though I don't even know if it matters.
I think they're just
probably
going to try
force
push
it.
even without Aegis. They've got double Necro 3s, they've got Treant, they've got the Howl, they've got so much damage here. Even pushing into Tinker Master is still feasible, I would say.
Yeah. They could starve it, but the other thing is as well here, they can go in, pipe, mech. If they feel threatened, they can just back out and go start playing starvation tactics. So this is just probing, really.
Like I'm going to run forward, but he's just creating space while they focus down the tier 3 tower, it seems like. DDZ slept up, March now being laid down. Problem is, Tinker's actually out of mana. He's going to try TP home. There's your wall. Vacuum to follow. Going to catch it alone, the Arrow Heroes, but the hand of God. Everyone on Arrow is still so healthy. All of them above half HP. Tinker forced to buy back. And now the Darkseid trapped in a Sprout. Not enough damage to bring him down, it looks like. And with the
Dire's
Tinker buyback,
structures are
this will force
fortified.
Arrow Gaming back, but they take 0 casualties. Profit gets low, but he's perfectly fine. They get the
Dire's
T3
bottom
tower,
tower
force the
has
Tinker
fallen.
buyback. DDZ. They're going the run now. Venomancer is his first ulti of the game, it feels like. He's going to throw it here at the bottom lane. He'll take a spill, but gets the Tinker in exchange. That's 2 kills on the Tinker. The Bloodstone going to make him respawn that little bit faster, but that's Tinker with 4 Bloodstone charges all of a sudden after the dieback from him. So I think this is possibly the end. As Arrow Gaming going to see Clinks look to get the Ember Spirit. Oh, he's going to bring down the Ember Spirit. Lakel, does he have a buyback? He does. He's going to use it right off the bat. Darkseid now being chased away. Mech and Pipe being used by the Chen, and I think they're going to just switch attention over onto these Raxes here. Rax is taking a lot of damage very fast. Range Rex goes down. Link's going to
Dire's
dodge
bottom
and snare
barracks
with
has
the
fallen.
Skeleton Walk, and with the Sentry placed down, this may signal the retreat to Arrow Gaming. But they got Raxes, they got what they came for, they forced Tinker buyback, and MiTH Trust, they're really on the ropes right now.
Yeah, and that cost Arrow absolutely nothing. I don't know if you caught it in the fight, but during the song, the Rasta actually ward trapped the Clinks, and the Clink was like, "Hey, okay, this is fine." And then he killed one hero from inside the ward trap, and away he went. Oh, and that Wrath of Nature.
Oh, gets the blink off. Arbor's looking for another TP. He gets off just. Well, luckily for MiTH Trust, they don't lose Tinker there. If that Tinker dies again, he would have been dead for like 50 seconds, maybe? Maybe a bit longer than 50 seconds, and that could have been Raxes in another lane going down.
Yeah, and well, at this point,
Invisibility.
Arrow, I guess they just push up onto the high ground again. I don't know. This time around, there's no song for 50 seconds. MiTH have everything else, but the question is, what have they added? And the answer is very, very little. And now the Lycan has a heart.
Yeah, this makes it a lot easier to push into Tinker, just getting the raw tankiness. And I mean, I think this is really just the countdown to the end for MiTH Trust. Turning this game around would be nothing short of a miracle. But mate, when you've got the Tinker Ember Spirit, you try and stall. You keep on stalling for days if possible. This is just going to be relentless pressure on their base. Necrobooks, summons all over. Defending this is not going to be an easy task.
It's a matter of pride, and it's also a matter of practice as well. Like, these are some of their... these are some heroes that they do run quite a bit. So, just practicing the execution with Song, Vac, Wall, like, against a very good team, it's not an opportunity you always get. So I think MiTH Trust is going to keep on holding out. And similar to what we had in the other really stompy game, where it's, well, you drafted it, you thought it would work, and you may as well just get the full experience with knowing how the lineup functions, and against this particular lineup from Arrow.
Arrow Gaming will get Roshan one more time, probably for the last time, I feel. As they've got double hearts up. Klink's now with a Heart of Terrath for himself, selling his heart off, selling his Midas off,
Roshan
and
has fallen to the Radiant.
pushing the high ground now. Lakel still doesn't even have his first Battle Fury after that recent buyback. He's on 1800 gold and can't buy back this fight, doesn't have a Battle Fury. Tinker, similar story, no buyback for 2 minutes, and with Aegis on Cheese on the Arrow Gaming side, they've got a nice 2-minute window where there's no buyback for the 2 key MiTH Trust heroes.
I feel like Arrow could almost just go and hit buildings and ignore heroes. Like, obviously that's a terrible idea, but that's kind of the point we're getting to here.
They can just split push lanes, they can focus buildings if they want, if they really want they can focus heroes, like they can do anything really. The world is their oyster. And it looks like, yeah, there you go, Klink's towards the top lane. He pops the Stray, gonna go right click away, brings down this tower just to about half HP. Backs off then just to play it safe, and he's just going to keep being as annoying as possible. Even and now mid lane, even de-warding MiTH Trust, Observer Ward on the high ground. No detection for you. Say Arrow Gaming. Venomancer with a gem. Scouting all of this out, and it looks like the high ground push, even against the Marching Machines, should be coming well into play. And it looks like Klink's going once again to the high ground at top lane. No glyph still, and no backdoor protection. Klink's just going to get this tier 3 tower, and blinks out, actually dodges a vacuum with it, and it's his range Rex fairly low. There's no sentry still, and he's got Shadow Shaman. Drops down Zervoid. It's actually a send back onto the Clinks. Clinks will be perfectly fine here. The Chen could be the one in trouble now. He's getting jumped up, has a mech in the pipe, but he won't get a chance to get either of those two off, and Clinks buys his boots of travel. He'll be TPing back in shortly. The mid-tier 3 tower under siege, and Well, tier 3 tower mid gonna go down. The constant barrage of harass on the base. The Rat Dota, it's real. There's an infestation problem. They force out a glyph on the top lane, and DDZ wants to go back in. Shadow Shaman is nearby with the Blink Hex ready, but he's pretty much on his own for the time being.
I feel like it's Rat Dota when the team that's on the defensive wants to fight, but they just never can because of the split push. This is like, these are some huge rats. If this is Rat Dota right now.
That's true. This Clink's just constant hit and run. Ember Spirit goes looking for him, but I think MiTH just need to buy a gem. Like as much as it's likely just be given away to Arrow Gaming, you need detection for this Clink. He's getting caught up by Searing Chains here. Can't blink out of this as taking a lot of damage. TNK almost takes a fall. The Ghost Scepter's going to keep a few alive, but TNK goes down. Meanwhile, mid lane, looks like the Raptor's under siege here. Lance has gone into the high ground, doesn't have Necrobooks, doesn't seem to matter. He's just going to right-click down the Darkseid perhaps. Darkseid pops him and keeps himself alive a bit longer. Meanwhile, top lane, Clint is finishing off the Rax. The range Rax takes a fall. Melee Rax in the mid lane going to go down, and now the Dagon start rolling out. Prophet says, let's get some little Yamato cannons going, and Clink's blinking forward, looking for action. He wants some blood. He's going to find Xenon. Xenon goes down in the silence. He gets wall trapped again, but he says no problem whatsoever. He'll just fight his way out of this one. The laser does not affect the clips because of the MKB. He'll get sent home now after finishing a few more Surf Wards. Mid Raxes both going down. Bottom Raxes, or bottom melee Rax still alive, but there's your GG. MiTH Trust tap out. Nothing left to do at this stage of the game, and Arrow Gaming take game 1 of the best of 3.
Very nicely played by Arrow. Bit of a shame for MiTH, I guess, having to use a stand-in there, but I don't know. I feel like we just didn't really get to see much of their play this game. They got forced in the draft. They did a nice job scouting out the Roshan and getting a little bit of an advantage back there, but all they did was really stem the bleeding overall. And well, Arrow showing, well, putting that punishment down for giving away the first pick Lycan.
Yeah. I think game 2 we look toward Lycan being banned. And probably even MiTH Trust with first pick in game 2, so it may just be Arrow banning out the hero, but there's good reason why Lycan is generally banned. Although I don't even think you can pinpoint the Lycan as the major problem this game.
Yeah, there were definitely some Clink's problems as well. He had 19 kills, everybody on his team had 1. So
these kill scores, man.
The kill scores are fantastic. Like the Clink's just like, I guess the Lycan went for kills as well. It's like not like he doesn't have assists, but Big Bad Clink's just finished them all off.
A lot of those assists were just his wolves like scouting people out for the Clinks too, but yeah. It's the end of game 1. Arrow Gaming take a fairly convincing game 1, guys. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, it's time for game 2 of our play match. Winner of this best of 3 goes on through the main group stage to join Group A with Titan, Zephyr, as well as RRQ. We'll find out if Arrow Gaming are going to take it 2-0. If MiTH Trust will take us to a game 3. Stay tuned. Myself, Gods, as well as Basic will be bringing you more Dota 2 action from the Inaugural shortly.